No serious country should be telling its children that they were born with the wrong gender, a concept that was never heard of in all of human history. Nobody's ever heard of this, what's happening today. It was all when the radical left invented it just a few years ago. Under my leadership, this madness will end. Thank you very much.
Kenya is still very young. We can say Kenya is very, very virgin, and Africa is very, very young. I can only be able to compare Africa to a beautiful woman who doesn't understand herself. A very beautiful woman who doesn't understand her worth, such that anybody coming with a morsel of bread will take a piece of her. Somebody else comes with a piece of meat, then the dripping golden oil beneath her feet is swept away. So these guys have to come with an agenda before they can do whatever they want to do. For Kenya and Africa, having to lose a population through such acts of LGBTQ+, this means that you won't be able to populate yourself and so deplete the natural resources that you have.
Remember this. Others will always tell you what you want to hear, but only your Father will tell you the truth.
Welcome all to our new YouTube channel, Ask Your Father Kenya. Now, the reason to ask the Father is because he never conceals the truth. The love that our mother, the love that our friends might have for us, might hinder them from giving us that which is so important in our lives. And that's the reason as to why it's very, very important always to ask your Father. This is our very first show here with my friend and counterpart.
My name is Mary Nduta.
Yes, Mary Nduta.
Gikunga.
Gikunga. Welcome so much to our first ever episode
I'm humble.
of Ask Your Father Kenya. Call me Kasha, K-A for Kakai and Sha for Manshed. So today we wish to have a serious conversation around a topic which is bringing a lot of problem in our current modern world, which is gender identity. Many are arguing and fighting. I don't know where we started losing our way as far as gender is concerned, but many today, especially the millennials, and those that the Americans call the leftists,
In Generation Z.
and Generation Z, are fighting and trying to argue out their cases that, wait, the older generation didn't understand it well when they established that there are only two genders. What is your take, Mary?
They didn't get it right.
The old generation, our
Didn't get it
generation
right.
never got it right when
Yeah.
they say that gender is established at birth. And something that is very disturbing is that the world has become so fluid such that we are made to believe everything and anything. I don't know if it's phobia, I don't know if it's fear of the unknown, such that even a mere teacher, cannot be able to describe who a woman is and is not willing at any point to describe who a woman is. For example, I wish us to start off with one video of a doctor. I've watched his program for close to 2 decades now. It's called Dr. Phil, and I've always been encouraged by so many positive things that I've gotten to learn out of him. But lately, I want you to watch this with me and help me understand if this is the trend that we learned at birth. I mean, we learned while we are still young, or things go to change all along. And who are these doctors speaking to? Those are some of the questions that we have to answer today on our show, Ask Your Father, Kenya. And since it's our first episode, it's a very new channel. I request of you, dear viewer, that at the count of 5, kindly subscribe to our channel. If you find it helpful to you, and it's of essence that you need to communicate the same to others, please do share. Remember to hit the notification bell such that every time we'll be uploading our new videos, you'll always be the first to be notified. At the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much for taking your time to subscribe to our new YouTube channel. We hope to be bringing very, very exciting conversations on this show, and it's purposefully for education and for the betterment of the future generation. So let us first and foremost have a look at one clip from Dr. Phil's show. Watch as dad struggles with meeting his daughter as a woman. I think it should have read, watch as dad struggles to meeting his son as a woman for the first time.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this guy was initially a man
And transformed.
and transiented. I don't
The
know
gender.
how it happens. Then he became a woman. So let us have a look at how a father reacts and the lessons we can be able to borrow from such an experience.
Fine. To meet you. Let's sit right here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Just by the son appearing as a woman for the very first time before the father, looking at the reaction of the father. Mary,
Yeah.
what is your take?
I was emotional. I'm going through the same thing as the father, because you can feel and you can see the pain in the father's eye and on how he's feeling seeing his son walking in as a woman.
Why do you think it's painful for the father to have such an experience? And how hurtful? Why is it hurtful even to you?
Because one, the father is trying to relate. He's trying to relate because as a man, you there is some expectation of your son.
Mm-hmm.
There is some expectation of your generation, that the generation will continue. The continuity of a generation. But here you're seeing the end of it.
Let's watch on.
Tell me what you're thinking and feeling right now, Gary.
I'm hurt bad. Really bad.
What do you have to say?
Why?
I just want you to know that you didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong.
What do you have to say about his reactions to this? I mean, you can see this is very raw for him. What are your feelings about the impact on your father, Gary? Here?
I'm really hurt, and I was kind of scared, honestly. Just seeing his reaction, how I don't know if it was anger or if it was just upset.
What do you want from him?
The son doesn't understand. The son doesn't understand.
The intensity of the pain.
I don't understand if it's just anger or he doesn't understand at all. But you have said the expectation of any man, and it's true. that the essence of a man coming together with a woman is for procreation, right? For continuity
Yeah, procreation.
of a generation.
Yeah.
But now here comes a point whereby this seed carrier, which is a man, is dead. This is as good as dead. I know people will be so judgmental in probably our perspective towards this,
Yeah.
but truth be told, because no one wants to carry somebody else's name. You see? In this manner, we only wish that our sons carry on our legacies and our coming from our own chromosome and from our own genes as a man. But looking at this, the man is perturbed. But the young man doesn't understand why the old man is disturbed.
The thing that I'll say, let's put the reality of everything here. And then let's put the confusion and the madness you are in here. And let's see exactly what it is that this gender confusion has done to generation, has done to parents. The damage it's doing, because when you start describing gender differently, as now people are saying, we have 1,000 genders.
They say we've got a lot of genders. I don't know. Gender fluid, we have got, I don't know. There are so many.
Yeah, there are so many genders.
Yeah.
So let us try and, not even try, let's see it in a realistic way. It's happening right now.
Let's watch on.
I just want you to understand that this has nothing to do with how you raised me or anything like that, and I just want you to be okay with me being transgender.
Steph, he feels like he's failed as a father. He feels like he let you down. He's gone back to the point of, he says, one time for Halloween.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Oh. It's painful.
Yeah.
It's painful, and only a parent can be able to understand.
True.
And it's quite unfortunate because the young ones, having been misled and brainwashed into believing things which don't make sense, they think probably that their parents are the ones who are on the wrong.
Yeah, true.
But look at the pain the man is going through. And then there's also something which comes in play, because I know, let's watch on and see where all this confusion started.
He dressed up like a girl. I thought it was funny at first. Now I certainly don't.
And what was the age?
High school, maybe?
It was during high school.
And your reaction at
Oh.
the time?
I thought it was Halloween, so I just went along with it. Actually pinched him on his behind and said he made a good-looking girl, but I was only joking. He's not a good-looking girl. He's a very beautiful man.
Right.
How it all started. The parent is admitting that it was on a celebration of Halloween, right?
Yeah.
Probably like we can say a Fool's Day. Fool's Day, anybody acting queerly, you may think that is something that will come to pass.
Or what they're calling nowadays is kind of prank.
It's a prank, yeah. So you'll find your son wearing a dress, and the way he's saying, he saw the son wearing a dress, and he spanked a little bit on his behind and said, "You look a beautiful lady." Not knowing that he is engraving something on his on his brain that is going to change him for life. by that simple praise that you look beautiful in that dress. Now he's counting himself as having failed
As a father.
as a father. What is your take? Because we have men who are wearing dresses, that wearing their mother's dresses, and people are just celebrating all about it.
We're encouraging them. You will look beautiful on that weave, on that dress. It's awesome. And whatever we are encouraging is mostly, I'll say, as women, we're the ones encouraging this more and more.
But why is it then? Why is it that it's happening, and then there are women who are celebrating all this? Don't you care, especially you being one of the women, don't you care that about the next generation? Because this is a seed carrier, and there's no way out somebody's daughter can be able to sire a child without this seed.
I'll say we are in a very confused era. A very confused era. I see in social media men wearing dresses, men acting as women. They just say it's cross-dressing. I don't know that term, cross-dressing. I'm a man, but I just love wearing these dresses. They earn me money, I think so, by looking like a woman and dressing like a woman. But it's also kind of abusive.
Yeah, especially to a woman, I think.
It is.
There is one guy in America who is making a lot of money in advertisement industry.
These are the days, these are the days, these are the days of girlhood. These are the days, these are the days, these are the days of girlhood. Every night, you rise and shine, they're all mine. Thick or thin, I'll be alright. Got my dolls by my side. These are the days, these are the days, these are the days of girlhood.
Advertising women's products. Now, is a man dressed in a woman's attires, some crop top, some bras, some tights, some tight jeans, behaving like a woman,
That's what I'm saying.
and earning a lot of money at the expense of the women, real women.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's abusive. What is the take when you do that as a man? What impression do you have of a woman? What impression do you have of your mother? What impression are you putting out here that us women are?
But you are women, you are the guys who are celebrating this.
Yeah, I'll agree with you.
So, should anybody take any offense by a man taking over? Because we have seen it even in sports.
Yeah.
Because women don't want to be addressed as women, and they wish to be even recognized as men. Men have gone to extents of wanting to prove you wrong by themselves calling themselves women. Because here today, with the gender, the confusion that we are having in our modern day generation, you call yourself anything, and then you have to be respected by that. I'm a man. I can decide to call myself I'm a male white. I'm a female white lesbian, and everybody has to obey that. But in real sense, somebody looking at me, I'm black. I'm a Kenyan. I'm a man. But because of this confusion that we are having in the modern day, everybody wants to celebrate that, especially that which looks feminine. Why?
I think my take is it's a disgrace to women. And it's high time us women stop celebrating what is not right and start doing what is right. We're supposed to nurture. We're supposed to show the way and the right way, to be specific. An issue with gender, we are celebrating now, we are clapping now, but in future, this won't be the same. We'll be having the same pain as this man. We'll be having, a lot of pain. Because the way these things will end, it won't be a good thing.
Let's watch on and see.
He feels that he's failed you as a father. Do you feel that this is a choice you've made?
No, I've always been like this. I just hid it from everyone.
How do you feel about it?
I just feel like this is me. This is who I am.
And how long have you hidden this?
As early as 7 years old.
I don't think he understands the burden that is, how much energy that takes, how that affects you to live an
This is a
inauthentic
doctor.
life.
All respect due to him because I've always loved his shows, Dr. Phil. I've watched his shows for the longest time on our national televisions. But now he is arguing out that probably the father is the one who doesn't understand the pain that the son is going through. At the age of 7, the son thinks he's doing what he's supposed to do. And then the doctor says that probably your father doesn't
At
understand.
the age of 7, the son thinks he knows what gender he was supposed to be. That's what I'm getting.
And that the support is fine now we are getting from Dr. Phil. That probably it's the father who is at fault for not understanding the pain that the son has been going through, living under a strange scheme. Okay, let's watch on.
Just imagine waking up every day and seeing and being someone that you don't want to be.
What do you hear in those words? What do you hear?
I hear confusion.
So you hear someone that is confused, mentally ill.
Yes.
What if this is not a mental illness?
What if this is not a mental illness? What is it?
Trying to
If
understand.
it's not a mental illness, what is it?
Dr. Phil is trying to understand the generation. Again, you see, the father is saying this is pure confusion.
But the Dr. Phil,
Pure confusion.
Dr. Phil is struggling to convince the father this is natural.
Remember, he has an audience, and amongst the audience and amongst the support, that is where we're going wrong. And among the supporters of his channel are part of these other
Of the
genders.
scheme.
Yeah, of the scheme, of the cartel, or I don't know, how do you call it? So,
I know he's trying to get cancelled here, but
but now
I think this is total confusion.
he's trying to play safe.
Yeah, sure.
He's trying to play safe where he doesn't want to like condemn the action
Because that
and
is,
call it as it is.
that is where he finds his daily bread. You know?
Exactly.
Yes.
And right now, that is what we are doing. We don't want to call a spoon and a spade a spade.
It's so pathetic. Let's watch on.
What if this individual is pre-wired to be a woman, but in a man's body? I'm saying, what if that is the case? What could you imagine that experience would be like for that person?
I've always talked about this scenario that you are being chased by a fierce elephant, right? Imagine you are being chased by a fierce elephant. Those are just imagination. You ain't being chased. So Dr. Phil here is forcing the father to imagine the way.
What if?
These are just imagination. They are not facts.
What if?
Imagine you are being chased by an elephant. Those are just imagination. Stop imagining and start living reality.
Exactly.
Pretty hard. Pretty hard.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
Now, this is the modern times that we are living in, and probably for those maybe who don't believe in the last days, this could be the last days.
My issue is, as Kenyans, let me say it, me as a Kenyan and you, this is already happening. It has happened. they're already facing the consequences of their choices, the Western
Yes.
world,
Yes.
and they're already trying to push back. And we are buying what is failing in other, can we say country or
Yeah,
continent?
yeah, continent.
Yeah,
Whichever.
we are buying
They are
into what is
brothers,
failing.
Mm.
We're buying in what is failing. And what are we doing? Remember this man saying at the age of 7, I was already decided. At the age of 7, what can a kid
Nothing.
Decide
Nothing. A kid can do anything on her own.
And
at
I'm
7.
telling you, my fellow Kenyans, whatever we are trying to attract right now is going to eat us up. One, the thing that we are fighting so hard is LGBTQ. Let me call it as it is. The lesbian, gay, transgender, plus all that.
Yes, yeah.
That is what we are encouraging. And when we encourage it, they'll try to get in the society and to be accepted. They'll be our teachers, they'll be our lawyers, they're already there, yes, in disguise, because it's not accepted yet in the society. But when it gets accepted, imagine your kid having a gender confused teacher. And remember, a kid sees and imitates. So at 5 years or even at 3, they'll want to be a gender that they don't even understand because they are imitating from what they're seeing, either from a teacher, a neighbor.
It's so painful because in the States today, it's being taught in school even against the will of the parent.
Exactly.
Against the will of the parent. And now we are here as Africans, as Kenyans. Some of the countries have totally rejected this because we know, when you have a population, you have manpower, right?
Yeah.
You have creative team whenever you have a population. But what happens in a scenario whereby all these millennials now became gay and lesbians? What hope do we have for the future to come? I think we need to be candid. I know that those people who are pushing the agenda in a way that whatever is true, whatever is right is never proclaimed. But that which is corrupting the society is what has
It's
to
embraced.
be funded and embraced.
Embraced.
And celebrated.
Yeah.
Today, we might say that we still victims, Mary, as we are here as Africans, and we are at the mercies of our leaders, our president, and our legislatures, because they are the people who will make the rules for the land.
Yeah.
For us, we just have to adapt to the land, even if we know that it's true that whatever they are adopting to is detrimental to our society and our culture and even our population.
The thing that I'll say, we still have our voice. We still have our voice. It's not only me, it's not only you that are against what is happening. There are a lot of people out here who are against what is happening. Let's raise our voices. Let's be heard. Let's show the society that this thing will ruin us. This thing is wrong. I have a small baby girl. I want her to enjoy being in a society that, it's not mentally ill. It's not of sick people.
So let us also have a comparison, because this also comes from the United States of America. A one-term President Donald Trump. I really love this guy. I really love this guy because he's a traditional, he's a cultural man. He's a man, a family man, who wishes a generation and a generation forward and again.
He speaks his mind.
He speaks his mind.
Yeah.
Let us have a comparison between this guy who is not a doctor, who is a mere businessman,
And once a president. Yeah.
And then compare with the brain of a doctor. Let's listen to Donald Trump. I just don't wish to be so insulting, but provocative. But
I was like trying to say, oh, fine.
I'm sorry, Dr. Phil. I love you so much, but somehow, somewhere.
As part of our new credentialing body for teachers, we will promote positive education about the nuclear family, the roles of mothers and fathers, and celebrating rather than erasing the things that make men and women different and unique. I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth. The bill will also make clear that Title IX prohibits men from participating in women's sports, and we will protect the rights of parents from being forced to allow their minor child to assume a gender which is new and an identity without the parents' consent. The identity will not be new, and it will not be without parental consent. No serious country should be telling its children that they were born with the wrong gender, a concept that was never heard of in all of human history. Nobody's ever heard of this, what's happening today. It was all when the radical left invented it just a few years ago. Under my leadership, this madness will end. Thank you very much. As part of our new...
I'll say, no serious country should take all this madness to generation, to younger people. And Shadrach, let me ask you now. As a parent, as a male parent,
Yes.
as a male parent,
Yes.
now, what is your take in, because we are talking about gender identity. That is what we are talking about.
Mhm.
And on how it has changed with age.
Mhm.
And where we are at right now, the confusion in gender identity.
Mhm.
Yeah? As a country, that is where we are heading. What is your worry?
My worry is that, just as I've mentioned there before, is that for a king to celebrate its people, it must have people, followers, right? So there wouldn't be people that to be governed in the next few generations. If at all, the world will not come to an end soon. People won't be there because whatever I count in my children, my son, is that I really need to have a grandson. And that is why people tend to celebrate their grandchildren more than their own son, because they are very much sure that there is always a continuity. So if Kenya and the rest of Africa, some of our glutton leaders, maybe they will be forced into buying into this idea because of their own selfish gains. But it will be so wrong for the population, and probably they will be judged at the end of everything. Because whatever that is taking place today is just obvious that is against the family. It's totally against the family, and it's breaking the family and breaking the future of our beautiful nation. Remember, Kenya is still very young. We can say Kenya is very, very virgin, and Africa is very, very young. I can only be able to compare Africa to a beautiful woman who doesn't understand herself. A very beautiful woman who doesn't understand her worth, such that anybody coming with a morsel of bread will take a piece of her. Mm-hmm. Somebody else comes with a piece of meat, then the dripping golden oil beneath her feet is swept away. So these guys have to come with an agenda before they can do whatever they want to do. For Kenya and Africa, having to lose a population through such acts of LGBTQ+, this means that you won't be able to populate yourself and so deplete the natural resources that you have, which is meant to be utilized by somebody else who is not you.
Okay.
Truth be told, because I know this one can be very, very hurting to, especially those with interest, but for us who has family with at interest, we will advocate that let the gender remain as Donald Trump puts it. Let the gender be established at birth, whether you are a man or you are a woman.
As it has been.
It has been.
And I want to ask you another question, yeah? We've already, our culture is already wiped away. We already taking culture from the Western world, and as a modern man, where we are heading now with the gender identity, what is your take in what should we do right? Now that we are seeing ourselves failing, what can we do right to retain our family intact, our generation in getting it right?
Let those who are elders and those who are not crazy mad just push back. There's nothing else. We just have to push back
back.
against this.
Yeah.
There's no other simple term definition for this. We just have to push back. I know we have that slaves, minds of slaves, whereby we cannot be allowed to think on our own. When you try to reason out that which is right, somebody comes against you. So let us get out with our clothes, with our blood and sweat, and push back this madness. Otherwise, Africa is falling, Kenya is falling. How about if you can be able to end there, please? You still have a contribution to this?
The only thing I'll say, let us do it right. As women, let's not be carried by emotions every now and then. Every now and then. Sometimes let's do some reasoning. Let's do some reasoning. Let's see reality as it is. Let us save a generation before it drowns.
So you are accusing women to be behind most of the confusion that
Yeah, because we are the most people who are uploading this. If you go to social media, you don't see a man telling Kinuthia, sorry to say, that your weave is good, that where did you get your clothes from Turkey or so and so. You don't see a man uploading because, I don't know who has done their nails, they have polished, they've done manicure, pedicure. You don't see them on those platforms, but you see women like uploading. Your mothers. You have a generation to see what's happening to us.
Let us end it there.
Thank you.
You've been watching Ask Your Father Kenya. This is Candid. This is proudly Kenyan. Till next time, don't forget to subscribe to Ask Your Father Kenya because we are only starting. Bye for now.